So, separation of church and state is just a suggestion, I suppose. So, Governor Greg Abbott wants to put the Ten Commandments in every classroom. Here's the problem, though. Okay. Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem now. Ten Commandments. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal, Greg Abbott. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Now, when I was growing up, if you said, "Oh, Jesus," like I do often, then somebody inevitably would say, "Oh, don't take the Lord's name in vain," because you're not supposed to use the word Jesus in the place of like a curse word or something. And it's like, at some point, I had to start saying, that's not what that means. Don't take the Lord thy God's name, which means do not call yourself Christian in this context. Do not call yourself Christian in vain. Vain means fruitless. Don't call yourself a follower of God and then display nothing that proves it. What does the Ten Commandments have to do with math and science in reading? Nothing. You see posters in the school about, climb higher and blah, blah, blah. Encouragement has a lot to do with school. Therefore, those posters are just fine. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house has nothing to do with 8-year-olds. You can teach them all these different types of things on your own, in your own house. Don't be jealous of what somebody else has because you don't know what they did to get it, and you don't know what it takes to keep it. That's what I was told. Had nothing to do with a 10 Commandment in my classroom. But you cannot possibly tell me that the 10 Commandments has anything to do with math and science and reading. So, my question is, though, with one comes the other. We have been seeing, especially in these Oklahoma, Texas regions, where they want to introduce God into all of the classrooms, the God they know, anyway, let me say it that way, but don't want to leave room for the people who are so hail Satan. And what is interesting about those who are under the worship of Satan is they're not actually worshiping Satan. It's more so a troll maneuver, I guess, to say, if you're going to make space for one, you have to make space for the other. So if we're going to be all praise Jesus, then how come I can't, Masha Allah in here? Hail Satan in here. Why can't we do that? Why can't I make up my own deity and then boom, there we are? There's 400 plus Orishas. Can I put them in my classroom? Can I put my statue of Obatala at the front of the classroom? I should be able to. Or can I put Black Jesus on the wall? How would we be comfortable with that? That's whole another question. So I want to know, what kind of pushback is this going to get? Little or a lot? Because in Oklahoma, just north of Texas, they're teaching that the 2020 election had discrepancies. In the classrooms of your children, they're being taught this. And they're being given Trump Bibles, because Trump Bibles have the King James word in it, and it's going to be taught as a historical text, as in this happened. I want you to then go to your science teacher and ask him, how did everyone on Earth die and we're not all the same color? And why are we not all literally brothers and sisters? If we were born from the same two people. Anyway, doesn't matter. Will there be significant pushback or no? Mind you, this is Texas. They love them some 10 Commandments. If you love Jesus as much as you love the 10 Commandments, we'd be all right. The Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of work put into this, actually. 10 of Pentacles is a hard worker. Very hard. Or the Knight of Pentacles. This is the one you want to hire for everything. Very hard worker. Very meticulous. Very methodical. Very precise even at times. And so this person here, there's a lot of work put into this. And the reason that's significant is because this is not going to be easily pushed over. Page of Cups. This is going to be celebrated. Blue dots in the Red Sea sure will have something to say, and cities tend to be a little more blue in the outskirts, or a little more red. But it's Texas. Expect the unexpected. Red voices are louder there. The magician, the manipulation thereof. This is like it's prepared for the lawsuits. It's prepared for the backlash. It's prepared for the protest right now. The Moon card. It's prepared for all that. The 8 of Swords. No, that's the 10 of Swords. However, and then the 9 of Cups. Something is still going their way. But this here, they're stripping power away from this. So this is why I think it's so prepared. Because this is a game plan. This is your manipulation, your skill, power, and talent, though, with the Magician card. The power to do something. And then the 10 of Swords says that power is stripped away. So here you may have some sort of issue around the ability to organize a rebuttal. Because some sort of power is being taken away, so we may not have the same amount of people, or we may not have the same power that we had on the school board or something like that. Like, there's a lot of little bitty things where they're eating away at the power of, their influence of, and therefore it takes away from the whole thing. Word of warning, though, is the 6 of Pentacles. Funding. There's a problem there, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Page of Wands. Talking, speaking, announcements, that type of thing. King of Wands. There is some sort of leader that's going to take this by the head, or by the horns. And the World card. There will be a significant pushback. Outcry. I'm going to call it outcry because that's what the Page of Wands would be. The town crier, here's the news, read all about it. But I think they're prepared for that. King of Swords, though. King of Swords, though, plays no game. So there may be someone who can turn this on its head, but that person has to move into action. So we shall see.